guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on our YouTube account, and as we can see, Zohra is up, the newest awakened hero within AFK Arena, and I got the question, and I get the question every single day since we knew a new hero was coming. Should we go ahead and build her? Wait to build her, guys. If you have all of the heroes built like I do, go ahead and build her. If you got the extra cards, if you got the extra mats, definitely going to be, in my opinion, worth the build. But if you're not building her, if you don't have the mats, we have to see exactly where she falls within the tier list, and honestly, where she falls within the Celestial Heroes themselves. Again, we've already started building her out. It is going to be a matter of time once we get her engraved, once we get everything else on her, and get her built up to see where the utility is. Now, over the next probably, I would say 3 to 5 days, we'll see her used a ton with the trial version. Now, remember, the trial version does not have the ability to add collections on here if you don't have her built, so we're going to have to see exactly, and I think she's going to do a considerable amount of damage. But I want to hop over, and I do want to check out the guide from Rockaday that does cover the Celestial Heroes. Now, it is not going to have Zohra in there. I know the guide is relatively new, but overall, we don't know the impact of this hero, and again, it's going to be probably a week before we see exactly where she does fall in. So let's hop over and check out this guide, and here it is. So this is the Celestials, and I have to say, this one is absolutely amazing looking. I love how he did this. I love the bright, vibrant colors. But we can see starting off with Gavis. Now, Gavis right now, you can see relative strength, very good. He is falling into that SS tier. So he is right now one of the top tier Celestial Heroes. If you haven't already built him out, again, I would go ahead and pause, wait and see exactly where the heroes are going to be built. Now, the thing to note with him is when you start looking at very good on the 20, the 30, which again is kind of mandatory when it comes to these awakened heroes, the 3 of 9 furniture and the 9 of 9 furniture gets to good. And then, of course, the engraving on him is very good. Now, the thing to note is the plus 40 signature item is bad. That's right. He gets up to 50% of the initial attack and defense rating, but honestly, mostly just PvP. Like we've kind of seen the trend with a lot of these heroes, the PvP aspect is that plus 40 signature item, or going above that 60 engraving is really the PvP aspect of it. But Gavis overall, as a mage, he is a very strong support hero. Doesn't really do, again, a lot of damage in formations, but when it comes to the ability for him to keep everyone alive, makes a big difference because of the health loss and how he works with his abilities. It makes a big difference having that very good build on him and really bringing out his relative strength. Now, also remember with the awakened heroes is they do require a plus 30 signature item, the 9 of 9 furniture, and the 60 engraving to unlock all of their abilities. So if you don't have the combination of those three, you are going to be missing part of that. Then we look at Melkery. So right now, as it sits, relative strength is good. Honestly, if I didn't have Melkery built, if I wasn't looking at it, I would not build out Melkery at all. There are so many higher priority heroes, really. But when it comes to the prevalent hero that is really coming, and again, Melkery, the only place that we see Melkery as it sits today, and even since the release, is PvP. That's really it. So if you're looking to build her out any further, and you can see even here, the 9 of 9 furniture is good, 30 engraving is good, the 60 is even average, and again, falling in here, very bad when it comes to that plus 40 signature item. Then on the flip side, we have Aurelia. So this is an absolute top tier SSS hero, and you can see the plus 60 engraving, top tier, the 40 signature item, top tier as well. It increased the duration of the zones and the debuffs and the buffs that she is providing with a plus 40 signature item. So if you really want to see this hero shine the way that she needs to, it is getting to that plus 40 signature item. I know it is a significant investment, but again, when you start thinking of those top tier heroes that we have within the AFK Arena, she is absolutely one of the top tier. Also remember, when it comes to support heroes like Aurelia, they are heroes that are around for a lot longer than we see with our damage dealers, just for the simple fact they can fill in a lot of gaps in a lot of teams, and really being the top tier is important. Now, looking at the changelog, this, of course, is going to break down, even looking on here, the awakened version of Athelia is top tier meta, is still top tier meta, remains top tier meta, and you can see even very good almost across the board when it comes to everything. Even there, the 60 is top tier when it comes to building out this hero in the entirety, still working incredibly well. I would say, honestly, when you start looking at this list, you know, right behind Libirda, this is probably one of the absolute top tier. And when it comes to the awakened heroes, probably the absolute top tier Utility-wise, again, pretty impressive with the hero overall. Then we start looking at some of the good to bad. Even looking here, Ulna, very good. Now, Ulna has the innate ability to give immunity to another hero. This makes a big difference when you're looking at the awakened version of Iran, when you're looking at the awakened version of Antandra, a couple other heroes in there. It is imperative you have to have Ulna to keep them alive, because we do have a lot of really squishy awakened heroes, which I don't really understand. But you can see, do not engrave the hero. Honestly, probably the 3 of 9 and the 9 of 9 furniture is what you want. Going above and beyond that, yeah, absolutely top tier, which I believe is that 9 of 9 furniture. But anything other than that, you can see even here the plus 20 and the plus 30, very good overall for the hero itself. Then we look at some of the other ones, and I'm not going to go through all of them in here just because there are so many heroes. But thinking of heroes like Liberta right here on the bottom, Liberta is absolutely the top tier and still the absolute top tier and the highest utility hero we have in AFK Arena. Being a support hero, interesting enough, top tier when it comes to damage. You can see literally top tier across the board from so many different places. You do have to have the hero built out. And honestly, if you want the hero to perform where you really do need the hero to be at, it makes a really big difference, because the higher you build the hero, the higher the damage is going to be, which of course is imperative when it comes to damage dealers, really making a big difference. Now, even looking on this side, we have some that went from very good to bad. You can see very bad. Even looking down here, with Vitheo was top tier, went to the good range. Now, the reason for this is Vitheo used to buff, did quite a bit of damage, had a lot of utility in different places, and overall not used really anymore. I see it maybe as a substitute and a one-off niche formation, but not really a lot of utility. And then, of course, we do have Demia. Demia is still top tier. Think about Celestials. We have the awakened version of Athelia. We have Demia, we have Aurelia, and we have Liberta that are absolutely those top tier SSS class heroes, which do work incredibly well. And even here with Demia, putting on Mahira's collection makes her broken with the level 2 or the plus 2 within that collection, makes a really big difference. Then we get into the 40 signature items. You can see even here, the awakened version of Athelia, absolute top tier. Everybody else not really prevalent in here. You can see there's some bad. There are some very bad when it comes to building this out. Now, of course, from very good to good means that very good, and now going to good, that means there was, of course, a change. Now, if you think about this, Rocket 8 puts out these guides on a regular basis. You can see no change compared to what it was 2 years ago, which is kind of crazy to think that it's been this long. But yes, as we continue to see new heroes, and I cannot wait to see exactly where we place the brand new Zohra hero, and seeing, again, utility-wise, I feel like she is going to be either in that SS tier or in that very top tier, just looking at how she works, covering the whole battlefield, doing damage to the entire battlefield. If you can scale her damage high enough, it's going to make a really big difference with how much damage she is putting out. But like I said earlier, it is way too early to see exactly where this hero is going to be used, what the damage is going to look like. We're going to have to wait a couple days, couple iterations. You have to remember also, when it comes to Curse Realm, Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble, it really takes the full iteration of all of those to see where the hero is going to be built. And what that means is, remember, it's changes and rotation works a week at a time, meaning you got to wait like 7 weeks to see the full rotation of everything in here. And that is no introduction of new bosses, anything like that. So guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.